Hi, YouTubers, Fives here, Common Rider Fives, Mask Rider Fives. Okay, so yes, I won the mat sneak peek. I'm very happy about that. Here's a video on dealing with Shaddolls, which I like to call bitch dolls because they are a bitch player's deck. Actually, I do call the deck a bitch deck because really the niche to Shaddolls is the spell card. It's really the fact that they benefit from being sent to the graveyard for card effects, and the spell card, the fusion spell card, Shaddar Fusion, which honestly truly the only real niche or trick to that card is when you have a monster who specimen from your extra deck, so they get to send materials from the deck to the graveyard. If you don't use your extra deck monsters, the deck kind of falls apart, or begins to fall apart because they can't summon their big hitters from the extra deck. They're fusion monsters. Without them, they're kind of fucked. It's like Malefic Skill Drain decks. You play Skill Drain, you play Mind Drain, boosh! You just shut them down. And you don't play anything from the extra deck, so every time they fusion summon or do something, they just lose more material. It's like, that deck crushes Shaddolls. So, fuck them. Anywho, Nobunite, be real quick. A for any deck that doesn't have to use the extra deck to make big pushes and wins automatically have a great matchup. I mean, right off the bat. Like, Lightsworn's... Shaddolls stand up against Lightsworn. What deck stands up against Lightsworn that just, Dragon Sworn or Light Rulers or whatever can put up with that deck? That deck is just dumb thanks to equipped wyverns and shit. Anywho, if you're playing with Light Sworns against them, just blow them to hell. It's like, once you blow them to hell and they have nothing left, just attack for game. That's all there is to it. Just boosh, run through them. All they had Medrosh, or no, Windy as they changed it. Great fucking name. Bash your breakthrough skills or use your breakthrough skills. In fact, let's get on with this, before I talk about anything else. Which, I'm already 2.5 minutes in. Damn. Anywho, first card I want to talk about, Royal Command. This card was amazingly busted against them because the original effect, the OCG effect, is negate the activation effect of flip effect monsters' effects, as in all of them. Unfortunately, Turbo Pack 5, the bitch set, and thanks to some shitty translators, translated to negate all flip effects. This is supposed to negate all flip effect monsters. It is supposed to stop Shaddolls dead in the track, and it's an ancient card. Luckily, I still have the pre-versions that say negate all the effects and stuff, but it's worthless against them right now. OCG, if I remember correctly, these are great because it completely shuts down all their effects. Their flip effects and their effects engraved. So, guess what? This goes to graveyard because it sucks now. I mean, you can use it. It's just not as great. The most prominent card to use against them for pretty much the majority of the meta is 3 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, because negates their effects on the field and the graveyard. As far as I know, none of them activate in the hand, so fuck that. So right off the bat, booyah, baby! It does not stop El Shaddol, Nivra, whatever her name, because she's a light, but, all the dark ones, right off the bat, main deck, and Windy, fuck them. Well, actually, Windy is continuous, so this does not stop Windy. Both Windy's effects are continuous, so this does not stop her. This just stops everything else. So you still have to deal with the fusions, and as long as you don't go into your extra deck, they're not plussing. Well, actually, it stops Windy's effect when she's sent to your graveyard, add one from the grave back to your hand. So, anywho, great against everything except Windy on field and the light one. So, any deck that does not depend on dark monsters can get away with these. In fact, actually, if you do depend on dark monsters, another great tech card you can use is Forbidden Lance. I, for one, run Noble Knights, and problem is, Madra and Boars, more importantly, turns dark before you use his effect. Forbidden Lance, on the other hand, is great because I can target Boars and, drop, it's like, actually, no, he's still, I have no idea what I was thinking. That was a dumb moment. I'm sorry. I became completely retarded. Please forgive me. What I should have said is MST. If you activate Madra or Borz's effect, you can MST your spell card to pop it, so when Borz's effect resolves, he's now back to a level 4 light monster, and so is Madra, so they can use their effects, and this won't stop it. Please ignore anything I said about this. Please do not even comment about it. I would be very grateful for that. Please and thank you. I feel very, very terrible about myself. So, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for any deck that can deal without having their, dark monsters or don't run dark monsters. Go for it. I can even run it in Light Swarms or whatnot, but after you don't even have to side deck, really. Other cards, as I already said, Soul Drain. Negate all effects in the graveyard and or banish, which it stops all their effects in grave, which is great. So that still buys you time, but this is at 1 if I remember. I gotta double check that, but whatever. That's still a decent card. Compulse is only good against the fusion monsters. Everything else, it sucks, but that is a main deck card. Breakthrough skill is actually very good against the fusion monsters or the flip effect monsters when they're flipped manually. And you can do it during their turn, your turn. More importantly, you can do it your turn where they had that stupid Wendy on the field, and you're like, banish this, negate that bitch's effect, because I need to drop Judgment Dragon or something to ruin your day and make you regret for playing Shaddolls, you little bitch. Sorry, I don't have anything against Shaddolls players. It's just Shaddolls are like a stupid little deck that just... I don't even hate Shaddolls. It's just like, I love making fun of Shaddolls because everyone's like, Shaddolls are broken, which they are a very good deck. Very powerful deck because they have mutual beneficial. They get effects from being sent to the graveyard and their fusion card, which honestly is the biggest thing. I don't know how to deal with super problemization yet. That is a bitch card, and there's like no way to deal with it, and I fucking hate that card, and it needs to be removed. This Dimensional Fissure is a really good card because it sends all their monsters to grave. Doesn't stop the few, spell cards and whatnot, but this instantly shuts off all their graveyard effects. So really like this. This is really good. This is actually great with Noble Knights because you're not losing your Exceed materials because they're not treated as monsters. You don't lose your Noble Homes or anything. And luckily enough, Guinevere, when she's equipped to your Noble Knight, is treated as an equipped spell. So when she's sent to the graveyard, she's treated as an equipped spell, so she doesn't get bashed. So a.k.a. that's amazing. And check the ruling with Inzektor Hornet. It's like the same ruling with Hornet, because Hornet is treated as an equipped spell, and she's treated as an equipped spell. So when they're sent, they're not banished. So thank you, Hornet, Inzektors. You made my life better. Like, this is a great card. Needs to go back to 2 or 3 at least. Which, yeah, as I said, that's great. Arthur, these are actually your main hitters for Noble Knight players. You do not want their effects flipping, so you want to pop them while they're face down. So right off the bat, she and Arthur are your best friends because all their effects are once per turn and only one or the other. The flip effects you don't want happening because they're bitches, but the sent to the graveyard by card effect you're generally fine with. So, pop your face down, attack your face down, pop it, whatever. This is great for getting rid of what's-her-name, the Light Nifla, El Shaddai Nifla, whatever the fuck her name is, I can't remember. She's great because if you have a dark monster with Destiny, ram into it, her effect would be like, if your monster is spell summoned, it'd be like, I'll try to kill you, Chainlink 1. Then her effect is like, well, I'm optional, Chainlink 2, I resolve, pop your monster. My dude survives, fuck you. Automatically give you a great matchup against freaking Shaddolls. Which again, Noble Knights have a great matchup purely for the fact that we have 2 main deck cards that deal with Shaddolls, and we don't have to go into the extra deck to deal with our opponents. Another choice that you can use is Soul Release. This is great against many decks, Shaddolls, Light Swarms, anything. I don't like it as much because it's reactive and not proactive. My opponent has to send crap to the graveyard before I start using this. I want to stop stuff before it's in the graveyard. So you can use this. This is a good side deck against Light Swarms and give you a better matchup, but it's honest and truly, fuck it. Dark Hole, simply because you want to get all their fucking monsters off the field. It doesn't get rid of Wendy, but you know what? If you get rid of everyone else, summon Judgment Dragon, blow up the field, attack Wendy. Still better. It's like, just clear the field if they stack up monsters. One of the best cards to use against them is No Man of the Crossout, because they're all flip effects. Hit one, you hit them all. Banish them, and they no longer have that good shit. So yes, these are good against Geargios. These are good against Shaddolls. These are good against Evolves. Playsets. Just run side deck 3. You will not regret it. You have my word. Curse Seal, the Forbidden Spell. It's like discard 1 or 2 cards from hand, then negate the spell, and you're like, no card with that name can be activated. I think that's the effect. I know that's a great card against them. Book of Moon is good against Wendy. Because you can special summon more. Forbidden Lance is good to reduce Wendy's attack so you can kill it, so you can special summon. That's about it. Forbidden Chalice is actually pretty amazing because it changes the attack and it negates the monster's effect, but you activate this during the damage step, so when the monsters flip, you can be like, chain, negate it. You don't get the flip effect once everything resolves. Oh, you have a Wendy. Negate that bitch's effect. I can now kill it, negate its effect. Now I can Dark Hole, kill it. These are really good. These are actually becoming better. The final thing I know right off the top of the head you can run is Concentrated Light. Oh, isn't she adorable? My little sister drew on it. Anywho, this bitch's effect is like light, level 1, 0 attack and defense. Neither player can normal or special summon dark monsters or declare an attack with a dark monster. Period. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a dark monster. Period. And you take no battle damage from that battle. They could still pop it by no means, but, if you have this with this wonderful artwork, you just have to throw it in their face and be like, hey, guess what? Fuck you. It's so adorable. Extra deck monsters. Dear God, you are truly desperate if you're having to go into here to counter them, because you're literally just giving them fodder, unless you have the right cards. Like, right off the bat, Caster, the Musketeer, Sky Blasting Musketeer. That guy's decent against the fusions because you can bounce them bastards back to the extra deck, so they don't get their effect or add fusion El Shaddol fusion crap back to their hand. You could use Silent Arc, but fuck that shit. It's like they just gotta try to kill it once before they can get their Shaddol back, because they don't care where El Shaddol went in the graveyard, when or how it went to the graveyard. The fact is, it went to graveyard, return the freaking spell. You could run Rhapsody and Berserk to banish your cards, but if you're going that route, there's better choices. But this is if you're desperate to get rid of some crap. Exton Knight. If they have the fusions, don't waste your time. Do not Exton them. That is such a crappy idea to do that. Because you're literally, yes, you're going to blow up their field, but they're going to get El Shaddol fusion back to their hand. You can't attack them. You can't do anything to them that turn. You just gave them a turn. They are a very good stall, or they're a very good grind. They have a brilliant grind game as long as you give them an extra deck monster on the field for them to just play off you with the fusion spell. Don't play the grind game. The grind game will destroy you. You don't have the resources to do it. Noble Knights can play for days. They can play the grind game, but they really don't need to, because Shaddolls will win in the end until we get our more support. Lightsworns, early game, decimate, decimate, decimate. That's how it is. Starleech Power Dynamo, if you can get it out, I doubt you can. That is just really, not a good idea anyway. Black Rose is actually a pretty decent thing because he doesn't stay on the field. It just Board wipes, they get the fusion spell back to the hand, so either they have to use materials from their hand, or they just have to use whatever they have in their hand, suck it up. So Black Rose is not a bad idea against them. Board wipe. What else? If you really want to be that guy, you can summon Michael. Pay 1,000, banish your shit. Pay 1,000, banish your shit. Oh, what's that? Indefinite? Banish that shit. You don't get your fusion spell back. If you really want to be daring, be that guy, play these. Like, if you can summon them. It's like that's some hilarious shit right there. And if you really want to be super amazing, summon Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Enter battle phase, detach a material, negate all my opponent's monster's effect. Attack Nephis. She dies. Return her fusion cards from the graveyard back to her hand. Gains 1,000 fucking attack. Attack again. Destroy Wendy. It's like, if you time this right, you can just wreck their shit so hard. So that's all I'm saying. That's pretty much it. It's like, truly, Shaddolls are not that much of a bitch deck as long as you understand what they do and you just don't play their grind game. Limit their resources, pop what you can, force activate shit, don't let them flip effect, and just remember negation is your friend. If you can run skill drains, do it. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, yeah. Don't be intimidated. They're not that bad of a deck to play against. I mean, you may have a deck that has a bad matchup. But overall, you can deal with it. It's like, as I said, worst case scenario, go with a Malefic skill drain deck. I kid you not. That actually has a great matchup against Shaddolls, and that's creepy. Anywho, Shaddolls and Kriloffs, because if they summon Kriloff Killer, guess what? You decrease my special summon monster by 500. Maleficent Dragon, 4,000. He's at 35. So the fuck what? Kill it. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll do a more in-depth video on Kriloffs at a later date because that's not going to be a thing for a while. If you have any questions, please comment. You know, ask whatever. I'll give you my opinions and whatnot. Information is key, and hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. And I hope this helps you out in future tournaments so you can win. Best luck and God bless.